I feel I need to talk about a word called xenophobia. In simple terms, it's hating someone because of where they're from. And I've experienced some of this xenophobia myself. Thankfully, most people, once they have a conversation with me, realize that I am not the American stereotype that they think, and that I'm actually a pretty reasonable human being. But I did want to address the hate. I can understand the reasons why people would hate Americans and people from other countries. However, this has happened through all of human history. During the Second World War, people absolutely hated the Germans and they hated the Japanese. I mean, look at the United States. They put people who were American-born of Japanese descent into concentration camps because they were scared that they might be associated with Japan somehow. And people generally were unkind towards Japanese and just Asian people in general during this time. The same went for Germans. My own grandma didn't want people to know what her maiden name was during the Second World War because she had a German maiden name. In the US, we saw this again with the Vietnam War, which again sparked hatred towards Asians. And more recently, we saw it with COVID. 9/11, we saw it with people who live in the Middle East. Depending on what's happening in history, people tend to hate people from specific countries. And it is interesting to see that there's now a lot of the world that has that towards Americans, as well as Chinese and Russians. And I'm just here to say that nobody gets to choose where they're born. Nobody gets to choose when they're born. We're all on the same planet together. I'm not responsible for the mistakes of my government. I was 10 years old when Iraq got invaded. I didn't have any decision making in that. So this is just me asking humanity in general to stop hating people because of a country they're from. A man-made border. Nobody has control over that. Xenophobia, it's just as stupid as racism. You're hating somebody for something they have absolutely no control over.